Good evening. I'm Jen Beatson King. Good evening. Thank you for coming tonight for this little bit of introduction to mediumship and a little bit of introduction into myself. So, Jen Beatson King. Beatson is my family name. So my mediumship, I'd say, heritage goes back to the 1640s, where the name Beatson was, it meant spiritual healer. So I have a long lineage of mediums in my family. So, thus me being a medium. Anyway, so I started my specific journey many years ago, but then I had children and then just gave it up, and my cousin came forward and he reintroduced me into mediumship. He took me to the other side across the veil and then brought me back and then said, okay, now you can go. So from that time on, I've done mediumship. And I find that we do have waves, like Andy said, there are waves in our mediumship. I'll give you a couple of examples that happened recently. Last night I was on podium and I had to, I brought through this huge massive energy, and the energy had come to me the night before. Didn't know what the energy was or who it was, and I just said, okay, you know what, I'm in the shower. So you could just stand outside of the shower. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so when I was on the podium, that energy came through the same way, and I had asked everybody, did somebody pass recently? And 4 hands went up, and it was a gentleman who had passed, and I gave the lady the message, and she was a recipient. So that was kind of like another wave for me. And then the month before, I had another bit of another wave, which was I sit in the power before I do podium. So when I sit in the power, this woman came to me and she showed me a shared memory. I often get shared memories. This was a shared memory of standing on the edge of a cliff, and I could see down below the water and the rocks and you know, the danger. And this woman jumped over the edge of the cliff and jumped down to her demise. So that clearly showed me that she had passed of her own hand. However, when you're on the podium, you don't say that. So you give a little bit of information on the image that I saw, and you know, this woman, I said, had a very tragic death. And the lady in front of me said, yes, I can take that. She jumped. At that point, I go, please don't say anything more, because the lady in spirit doesn't want everybody in the audience to know that she jumped. All she wanted to do was connect to the woman in the front and give her a message. So that's what we did, gave a message. So those are kind of 2 jumps. So in mediumship, you do have definite waves and definite jumps and definite ups and downs. And also, you do have downs, which sometimes spirit will come through, nobody in the audience will take the spirit, so you give a universal message. It's not that the spirit's not there, because of course the spirit's standing right beside you. What it is the person in the audience is not comfortable with that person or can't remember who that person was. So never ever beat yourself up to think that what you have isn't true, because definitely what you have is true. Spirit is true to us. They do come through, and they come through in Spirit's love and light to help and to heal everybody. Okay?
Yes.
All right, now enough talking about myself. All right, time to give a message here. I want to come to this side of the room. So I have this gentleman here, and I want to give a little bit of background on him being young and then him being in his older age. So when he was young, he was slender and wiry and had curly hair, light-colored hair. He was, I want to say, the life of the party. He could do anything. Nothing was a problem for him. He was like, you know, Johnny on the spot. He was really into doing things for people. And then, so he showed me that, and then he skipped to him when he was older. When he was older, I see him, he had a little bit of a belly on him. His legs were heavy. He was quite lethargic. However, he still had a sparkle in his eye, and he still had a really good sense of humor. even though he was at the early age, he was quite unwell, physically unwell. He couldn't move very far, he couldn't move very much, but he still had the cognitive ability, to have to get you with a sense of humour. Can anybody take this, gentlemen?
Possibly. How tall?
I'd say average height. He's sitting.
Curly hair, did you say?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
The height that he...
Okay, so he's he's sitting down. I want to put this gentleman as like a relation, as a father relation. I'm kind of drawn to you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not a father.
I think I know who it is. It's not a father.
Okay, so this is a relation of yours? An in-law relation?
Well, maybe.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. I just want to say that when he smiled, he had a big set of teeth. Would you understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like he had, not quite a gap in his teeth, but he had a huge smile when he smiled. All right. May I come to you, please?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And you know who this gentleman is?
I think so, yes.
Okay. Do you understand that he had problems with his legs when he was older?
Yeah.
Because I see him sitting. It's almost like he was sitting in an electric chair or something. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because he's kind of just gone on that, going like this. He just went that way. He was a formidable person to have a conversation with. He was, I wouldn't say that he was never wrong, but he did have a good opinion, okay? Yeah, and he could get you going. Yeah, okay. All right, may I come to message?
Yes.
Right, okay. So really, he's saying to me, from the time he showed me till he was young to the elderly age, just before he passed, he said, in here I'm the same. He said, I really haven't changed, and in here I'm the same. I haven't changed. So he said, we develop and we grow. So he wants you to know that the lessons that you have learned in your life and the things that have happened over the period of your life are like a big spectrum, okay? So you're only at the middle of that spectrum. You haven't come down to the other side yet. So you are going to learn a ton more stuff before you evolve to the other side. So he said, you're like this. He said, and that's beautiful. He said, you are now balancing your life. And he said, and oh, I'm kind of getting teary-eyed here. And he said, I want to leave that with you.
Okay. Thank you.
And I'm going to thank him for coming in Spirit, Love, and Light and let him go.
Perfect.